Thank you so much for 60 subscribers. I can't believe I have already hit this number after only creating this channel 2 months ago. To celebrate this milestone, I thought I would react to some of your unpopular K-pop opinions. You guys sent in a lot, so let's see what y'all have to say.
Some of y'all about to be real mad at me, but it must be said.
Jimin's voice from BTS sort of annoys me. I'm guessing you mean singing voice? I can see where you're coming from on this one. His voice doesn't annoy me, but I definitely would not class him as one of the best singers in BTS anymore. His vocals sound quite damaged now, which is upsetting as it really affects the tone of his voice and technique. I do notice his voice cracks a lot now when singing and sounds strained on high notes. There is no problem with whitewashing as long as the idol is fine with that. Sis, are you okay? Yeah, I'm sorry, but I can't agree with this one. In my opinion, whitewashing is never okay, and to be honest, I'm quite sick of it in the K-pop industry. Whether it's fans or companies editing photos or makeup artists using the completely wrong color of foundation on idols, I want it to stop. When Korean beauty standards accept those with darker and more tan skin as just as beautiful as those with pale skin, the industry will be a much more positive place. Wannabe is not its best title track and never will be. I'm sorry you feel that way. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, even if it is wrong. I'm just kidding, it's all a matter of preference. But in all seriousness, I love Wannabe and it is definitely my favorite title track from them. I think it will be hard for them to ever top it for me. I like BTS, but they are overhyped in America. I have to disagree. BTS are not overhyped and they deserve every single piece of success they get. They worked so hard for years to get to where they are now. However, if you are coming from the sense that other K-pop groups deserve success in America, then I can agree with that. The majority of America does just focus on BTS, which they fully deserve, but it would also be nice if other groups could break into America and get the same level of attention. Kingdom Come isn't Red Velvet's best B-side. I agree with this one. I always see everyone praising Kingdom Come like it is a song sent from God. Obviously it's not a bad song, but I just don't understand what makes it so superior compared to their other B-sides. Personally, my favorite B-sides from Red Velvet are Body Talk, Butterflies and In and Out. Adios aged terribly. Adios is my favorite song from Everglow, but honestly, I'd have to agree with this opinion. Does anyone ever talk about Adios anymore? I know I still listen to it, but I feel like no one else does. Bon Bon Chocolate has definitely aged better, as it was such an iconic debut and is still talked about now. I guess Adios just didn't live up to the expectations as their follow-up single to their debut, hence why it hasn't aged well. I don't like NCT. I just don't. I'm okay. I'm not sure why you don't like NCT. If you said you didn't like their music, then I would be fine with that, because I understand not a lot of people like their music as it can be quite different. But not liking NCT as a whole, I don't understand. Yeah, I'm getting quite defensive as they are one of my old groups. Obviously I don't know them personally, but from what I see on camera, they are hilarious, kind, caring people. They make a lot of people, including me, happy with their music and personalities, so I don't understand not liking a group as a whole. Obsession by EXO was one of their worst comebacks and shouldn't have happened. Oh my god, have I finally found someone else that hates Obsession? I feel like I'm the only person out there that doesn't like it because people always rank it so highly on their favorite song lists. Yeah, I agree it is one of their worst recent comebacks, however I disagree with saying that it shouldn't have happened. That is the last EXO comeback we are going to get before they all enlist, so if it didn't happen we would have nothing after Love Shot. And if a lot of people like it, then I guess it wasn't all for nothing. Idols should only be able to win at music shows a maximum of 5 weeks to give other artists a chance to shine. This is quite a difficult one. I agree with it, but I also don't. Like, yeah, it's kind of not fair when the same group continue to win week after week for months, as there isn't really much point in the other groups releasing music and promoting at the same time. Like when BTS have a comeback, it's pretty much guaranteed that every other group is going to get basically no wins because BTS will dominate the wins. However, on the other hand, the artists winning deserve those wins. I also feel split with artists not promoting winning. It sucks to see groups that have to stand on stage and watch themselves continually lose to a group that isn't even there. But then again, if that was a rule, Red Velvet wouldn't have gotten any wins for Psycho as they didn't promote, but not because of any fault of their own. I don't know, this is a really tricky one. I just want everyone to win and be happy. It's hypocritical to complain about Not Shy since y'all asked for something different. Yes. This is so true. When Wannabe came out, you were all calling it boring and that they were just doing the same thing over and over again. So they changed it up with Not Shy, and what does everyone do? Complain about it. Okay, I wasn't the biggest fan of Not Shy at first, but I didn't complain that they'd done something different when that is literally what everyone was asking for. K-pop idols can never win with their music and people will always complain. Ice Cream did not meet my expectations at all, but it is still a decent song. Okay, so the last opinion basically leads into this one. Am I the biggest fan of Ice Cream? No, not particularly, but I commend Blackpink for trying something different and going back to more of a pink concept. When How Do You Like That came out, everyone was complaining that this was just the third version of D4 and that Teddy only produces the same songs for them over and over. So they finally come out with a song completely different from How You Like That, Kill This Love and D4, and once again you all just complain about how disappointed you are. Like, y'all really need to make up your minds. Do you want these artists to produce the same songs over and over, or do you want something different? It's seriously a lose-lose situation. Twice's Japanese tracks are way better than their Korean title tracks. I wouldn't say that their Japanese tracks are better than their Korean tracks, but I would say that they are definitely on par. Out of every K-pop group, Twice are one of the only groups that I actually pay attention and check out their Japanese tracks, because I know that they are going to be just as good as their Korean tracks. Breakthrough and Fake and True are up there with my favorite Twice songs. AOA have one of the best discographies in K-pop. I can say that the only AOA song I have ever listened to is Bingo Bangle, and I quite like that as a fun, upbeat summer song. However, I don't think I'll be checking out the rest of their songs, especially after all that has happened in the last couple of months. The lack of acknowledgement and apology from Jimin, FNC and the rest of AOA just didn't cut it for me. I don't think I'd ever be able to look past this and enjoy any of their music now. The problematic artists always have the best music. Sorry, this is going to be a long one, so if you don't want to listen to it all, you can leave now, as this is the last opinion of the video. There are many factors for me that go into listening to problematic artists. I do believe that most idols have been problematic at one point, but it is their actions afterwards that matter the most for me. The first point for me goes with the saying, actions speak louder than words. If an idol apologizes for whatever they have done and never does it again, I feel happy enough to continue to support them if they have shown growth. Even still, we have to remember that if you are not a part of the community that has been affected by the idol's comments or actions, then it is not up to you to accept the apology. However, you can make the decision here on whether you will continue to support that artist or not. If an idol continues to be problematic and get into scandals, then I struggle with being able to continue to support them. The second point for me is whether it is one member of a group or an entire group that is problematic. I do not think it is fair to penalize an entire group for the actions of one member. For example, Big Bang. Liking a problematic group or idol's music can be quite difficult, as although I enjoy their songs, I don't want to support them. In these situations, I don't feel that it is possible to separate the artist from their music, because even if you do, you are still supporting them and bringing them profit. Lastly, I am not always up to date on scandals. especially on groups that I have just recently started listening to. For example, I only just started listening to Oh My Girl this year, but only found out this last week about all their racism and cultural appropriation scandals. It is now up to me whether I choose to continue to support them or not. Also, if you do know of any more problematic idols, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments so that I can make sure I know who I am supporting.